The body is the vehicle for our divine message. Its purpose is to help us to fulfill the work that we're here to do. It is to preserve us. And so, more than likely, you have experienced this, what people often say, miraculous nature of the human body, the ability to heal itself, the ability to bring in white blood cells, different types of blood cells to come in and clean up the wound, platelets to clot the wound, to stop the wound from bleeding. We have this bodily process, the immune system to help fight off bacteria or invaders to prevent infection or from it getting worse, or better yet, to heal the site. And so you have seen more than likely a cut or a bruise go from being open cut to being closed, or a bruise to no longer being a bruise there, or even having a scar of something you once knew that was an open wound. I too have experienced, of course, scars, open cuts, a bruise. I Not too long ago, several weeks ago, I fell right outside our garage playing with my children, and I had a bruised eye and an open cut above it, and it's still there. But every day I had to observe it, to look at it and just for a little bit to see how it's doing, to cleanse it, to apply triple antibiotic there to help keep the bacteria away to prevent an infection. I had to continue to evaluate and see, do I need further assistance? I had to give it time because we don't know how long it will take for our body to heal bodies to heal. We don't know how long that process takes, but there is an innate ability for it to restore itself, for it to bring back harmony. And there was a time where I cared for people. I would care for their wounds as a practicing nurse in the hospital on a med surg floor, in different areas, skilled nursing, etc., where I would cleanse the wound. I would apply the necessary ointment. I would observe it. I would believe that it would heal because I believed in the healing power of the body. And I would just continue to expect healing, that if we're doing exactly what we need to do, even when I fell in my outside of my garage here at home from running, I was running. and I laugh because I'm not, quote unquote, a runner. I like to walk and enjoy nature, but I was running and playing with my kids, and I fell, and there was a cut above my eye. It was bleeding. I had to stop the bleed. I had to cleanse it. I had to put antibiotic. I knew to put antibiotic ointment on it to help prevent infection and to cleanse it and make sure it was dry. To continue to observe it, to allow time for it to heal, and just to make sure that it was healing the right way, that I didn't need other people to help me to heal it. So, but often, when we talk about the physical healing, we forget about the body's natural way to heal us emotionally and mentally. We go often on the outside to find things that will heal us, whether it be certain forms of drugs or medications or exercise or food, something to numb us, something to take the pain away, something to distract us. And we often will lose insight on the body's natural ability. Again, I say that the body has its own time of doing that, but I believe that when when we have disbelief, when we don't believe that our bodies can heal itself, when we allow guilt and resentment and shame, guilt that why are you going through it, and I wish you didn't go through it. I want to take it from you, and we end up, you know, thinking ourselves into an illness. Um, shame, resentment, vengeance, where we want to feel like we want to get back at someone, sometimes even ourselves or other people, because we are holding on to so much negative emotions and feelings that I do believe that we can hamper our ability, our innate ability to heal. That, part of this evolution, this earthly journey is to master ourselves, to master our minds, to master our bodies. Um, and when we start giving it negative emotions and thoughts, when we start feeding it guilt and shame and anger and anxiety, we um, again delay that healing. We invite other negative emotions and feelings to come in, and that's where you start getting into, the weeds and growing in our inner garden. And then we don't expect to heal. It's that disbelief that, yeah, you can heal this cut, but you can't heal my heart. And why do we doubt that? Why do we doubt that the body's ability to achieve harmony in our minds and in our hearts? That we are here to transcend our experiences and not be directed by them. And we must somehow take hold of who we are. And I've been doing this podcast on healing from the inside out and using my mother's principles. I there's no doubt in my mind that her principles, the attraction of wanting to do better, knowing there was something out there that could lead me better in life, that make better decisions, that I wouldn't fall or be led astray into hurting others the same way that they hurt me. That I there's no doubt in my mind that having principles help to keep my heart pure, to cleanse my wounds, to they were the ointment that I needed to help prevent anger and bitterness and vengeance and shame and guilt from infecting not only my heart but my entire body. As I've discussed, the heart is the the pump, excuse me, of our bodies, that it pumps these nutrients. And I, you think about nutrients like oxygen and calcium, all these things that go through our blood and they feed our cells and our nervous system and feeds that. And our nervous system is this communication vine of our bodies, and it sends the messages to our brain. And every cell in our body, every cell hears the thoughts, the words, the reactions, every cell in our body, your GI, your stomach, your GI tract, your small and large intestines, your bones, your joints, your heart, your eyeball, your iris, all of that gets information that we feed it. And just like medications, when you take a drug, it doesn't just affect, even though it may be just for your stomach, for acid reflux, for example, it doesn't just act on the stomach receptors. Hence, you have side effects that when you take certain medications, you can have dizziness, you can have palpitations, right? Because the drug is not only acting on a specific organ, it acts on receptors, it acts on it changes the biochemical response inside of our bodies. And those neurotransmitters, these chemicals, are in different places in your body. And so when we talk about the side effects of emotions, of of um, anger and frustration and all of those the like, they affect every cell in your body gets that communication. That by not healing, by not choosing to embrace healing, by not expecting healing and veering on the guilt and the shame and all of that, um, we're continually to invite those invaders to come in and to infect our hearts. And it's so easily, when we think about a generational love cycle, that's what's happening, generational pain cycle, that's what's happening, is that much of this stuff that we're carrying around, this hatred, this divisiveness, this I'm better than you, and inferiority complexes, and just so much that we have inside of our hearts that we're allowing that to infect different generations, not only the people that we come in contact with, employers, employees, associates, people that we don't know, when we take our pain out on others, but we're also feeding that to the next generation. Because if you think about it, you think about DNA cell replication or duplication or replication, we're passing on cells to the next generation. This is more than just about us. It is more than just about the present, but it's also about the future, what we're setting up for the future. It's not about guilt complexes. It has nothing to do with that. It's more about awareness, what you can do, and helping yourself to be more aware of the emotions and feelings and reactions and how they're playing a part on your health, on your ability to heal from the inside out. That again, I don't know. We don't know when the body will complete its healing. My eye, if you look at my eye above, you can still see the area. It's not as sensitive, but it stayed sensitive for a long time, for several weeks. But I knew and I believed in my body's ability to heal. And I will continue to believe that regardless of what I see. And often we have to believe that my heart can heal. We have to believe there are measures I can take to heal myself from the emotional and mental pain, that my body will eventually heal itself, whether it be this, if you believe in afterlives, whether it be this lifetime or another, that I know its job is to preserve me. And even that it may be taking long to heal itself, I'm going to still believe. I'm going to continue to work on keeping my heart clean. When we talk about um, keeping wounds clean, keeping my heart clean, not having ill will thoughts or resentment towards another person. And I know it's easy to say and it's harder to do, but you take the road of greatest resistance, because that's where the reward comes from. When you don't allow yourself to do what many in the world are doing at this moment in time, where they're allowing seeds of hatred and divisiveness, and we see the violence blood that is being shed, without even probably a thought. I don't know, but so quickly that another life can be taken. So we keep our heart pure. We focus on things that are true. We focus on even the gratitude of just being here. We focus on having our voice. We focus on being able to see our hands, being those moments where we don't have pain or discomfort. And oftentimes you'll realize it's when you're not even thinking about your pain, when you're distracted, that you don't have that. So what does that mean? What is that little small of space where you are distracted from your pain and you don't feel it anymore? You don't even think about it. When you do something, when someone needs your help and you automatically do it and you forget how your leg was feeling. You forget how you were feeling, how sad you were feeling when you're helping somebody else. That little time, that little space is where your power is. And how can you enlarge that space of freedom where there is no pain, where you don't even think about the pain? How can you enlarge that? And that's what I used to think about often when I would be having pain, is that how to enlarge the time where I don't even feel the pain, where I'm not even thinking about the pain, where I'm doing something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, this was hurting me. When I had a, um, a nodule that I had gotten an ultrasound from. And I remember the tech looking at me, the doctor looking at me and not even knowing what was going on, and wanted to do a biopsy. And now I'm not encouraging you not to do things, but I had to listen to my body. And lo and behold, I was pregnant at the time and I couldn't have an ultrasound. And I didn't even really I would kinda put my hand there a few times, and we end up moving to Oregon, and one night I laid in my bed, and I felt that area, and it was no longer there, and I did it another night, and it was gone. There have been so many things that have happened to me that I have to believe in the body's ability to heal, that in its right time, it will do what it needs to do. It will carry me or heal me as far as it needs to heal me, to restore me. And that if I just keep believing, if I just keep keeping my heart clear and pure, I can still continue to enjoy this life of mine. I can still enjoy it. I can do as much as I can. And if I and my heart, I can keep it clean, as I was saying, keep it pure. Thinking about the times, the good times, thinking about happy moments, truthful moments, thinking about times when my body did heal itself. And often that's what brought about my healing. What lessened my pain is when I thought about that I didn't want to live that way. I rejected pain. And before you knew it, no, before I knew it, it was gone. So keep your heart pure. Apply the necessary antibiotic. And I consider those to be your affirmations, your beliefs and believing that, my body has the ability to heal itself. And I'm just gonna be patient, and I'm gonna do as much as I can. I'm gonna, enjoy my life with my gifts and my talents and my abilities and help out wherever I can and when I can, not overstressing my body. I'm gonna, have this inner belief that my body is for me and not against me. My heart is for me and not against me. My mind is for me and not against me. I'm going to continue to sit down and assess my thoughts, listen to the thoughts that are coming. Are they my thoughts? Are they world thoughts? And reject those that I do not want to experience in this world. Reject those that I don't even want my children experiencing in the world, my children's children. To not take in thoughts of fear and hatred and divisiveness, but more of love, compassion, and understanding. And to know that things take time. There's a time and a place for everything. That I may want it to happen now, and it's okay if I do. But I'm not going to stop living. I'm not going to stop living. I'm going to do as much as I can. So I've kind of talked about healing, physical healing, but I want to, um, if my thought when as I think about this is to see the relationship and the body's ability to preserve you and the body's ability to heal a wound. And if it can heal a physical wound, know exactly what to do, what things to call forth in your body, the cells, to bring them in and to heal, it can give that communication. That communication is innate. Then why can't it heal my heart? Why can't it heal my wounds? If I give it the right programming, if I say that I want peace, that I am happiness, I am abundance, I am whole, I am complete. If I say that I am healed from the inside out, eventually, just eventually, I believe the cells will get that message. Because if I'm going to feed anything to my body, I'm going to feed it the possibilities that you've already shown me, body, you can heal, that you know what to do. And I'm going to be on that side of healing. I'm going to get out of me, rid whatever it is that I need to get out of. And I'm going to talk to myself in such a way that I'm going to give life instead of draining thoughts. So, this is Timika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. And, it's about dismantling those thoughts that have created the cycle of pain in the first place. And often, as Michael Jackson said, we have to look at the man in the mirror. And I know, we can look back and we can wonder, yeah, people have told us that, but they've been caught this and they've been caught that and they've done this. But do you really want to focus on that? Or do you want to focus on living your best life? That there have been many people who have said things and have done things, but much of what they said was the truth. But maybe they struggle to uphold that truth. And just because they struggle doesn't mean that you have to. That you can take what they have, take the good, and leave the bad. And that was one of the principles I developed as a child, and that I go back to even as an adult, needing it more and more. That you take the good and you leave the bad, because your life is worth it. You are worth healing from the inside out. And I want you to expect it, because your body is a miraculous thing. Your mind and your heart work together to bring about situations, events, circumstances. And I think it's just worth it. You're worth it to have the life that you desire. And it's more than just being positive. And I've done a podcast on that. It's about really the reality that you want to create. Because if we are truly creators, then my life is in my hands. Your life is in your hands. And I'm going to do my very best, and I encourage you to do the same, to create the life that you want. That at any time, we can change our minds. We can plant new seeds of thoughts, life-giving seeds of thoughts. I'll talk to you soon.